Hello and welcome to another episode of Talking Politics on the Hindu's YouTube channel. I'm Nistula Heppard, political editor of The Hindu, and I will be taking you through this episode where we try to unravel the skeins of this political controversy surrounding Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and land allotments to his wife by the Mysuru Urban Development Authority or MUDA. The Congress-led government in Karnataka has been in the throes of a controversy with regard to Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and land allotments to his wife, Mrs. Parvati Siddaramaiah, by the MUDA. Let's first examine overall what the alleged scam is all about. Now, the Mysuru Urban Development Authority or MUDA is one of the state's first urban development and planning bodies established by the City Improvement Trust Board in 1904 during the rule of the Mysore Maharajas. In the last few weeks, it has come under intense public glare after media reports have alleged that gross irregularities in the allotment of residential sites by MUDA to land losers as compensation. Now, amid the public uproar against allegations of misuse of provisions relating to compensatory allotment of residential sites to land losers, the name of Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's wife, Mrs. Parvati Siddaramaiah, surfaced. It was alleged that she had been allotted 14 sites in an upmarket residential layout in lieu of her 3 acres and 16 guntas of land that had been acquired by MUDA to develop a layout. Even though Mr. Siddaramaiah and the Congress leaders have clarified that the allotment of residential sites to Mrs. Parvati Siddaramaiah was within the legal framework of the 50-50 ratio scheme envisaged by the cash-strapped MUDA to compensate land losers, the opposition comprising of NDA allies, the BJP and the Janata Dal Secular, have been using the instance as a stick to beat the ruling Congress, holding protest marches and keeping up the pressure on Mr. Siddaramaiah to resign. Now, what is this 50-50 ratio scheme which is at the heart of the allegations? Now, the 50-50 ratio scheme envisages the allotment of 50% of developed land to land losers. If the MUDA had developed a layout on an acre of land without completing the acquisition formalities, like they've taken your land, 1 acre of your land, and have developed it, okay, but they have not completed the acquisition formalities. They haven't paid you for that whole acre. Then the land owner or you are entitled to 11,500 square feet of developed land, which, for example, translates into, say, 9 sites of 30 into 40 dimension, plus another site measuring 700 square feet. So basically, the scam then would be that this 50-50 scheme, when approved, envisaged each case of allotment of sites under it to be brought before the MUDA board. However, there have been allegations that the sites and bogus documents through middlemen in connivance with MUDA officials have been done without the knowledge of the board. The continued allotment of sites under the scheme, even after the Congress government issued directions to MUDA twice in 2023 to stop it, has brought the role of MUDA officials into the alleged irregularities under public glare and scrutiny. Now, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's wife, in this particular instance, Mrs. Parvati Siddaramaiah, had been gifted 3 acres and 16 guntas of land in Kesare on the outskirts of Mysuru by her brother Mallikarjun Swamy in 2010. But MUDA had developed the Devanur 3-stage layout without acquiring this piece of land. So under the 50-50 scheme, and based on Mrs. Parvati Siddaramaiah's application for compensation, the MUDA allotted 14 sites in Vijayanagar 3 and 4-stage layouts measuring a total of 38,284 square feet under the 50-50 ratio scheme in lieu of her land that were used for developing the Devanur layout. However, and this is where the opposition comes in, they have alleged that irregularities even in the allotment of these sites too have taken place in the allotment of these sites to Mrs. Parvati Siddaramaiah by the MUDA. Now, what are specifically the opposition's allegations? The BJP and JDS leaders are not only questioning the legality of the denotification of the piece of land in 1998 before Ms. Parvati's brother Mallikarjuna Swamy purchased it in 2004, but Also, the allotment of compensatory sites to her in upmarket Vijayanagar layout, even though the land used for developing Devanur layout holds a comparatively less market value. So, in terms of market values, it seems that she has been overcompensated. And even questions have been raised on the denotification of the land in 1988, which was then bought in 2004 by Mr. Mallikarjuna Swamy, then gifted to his sister, Mrs. Parvati Siddaramaiah. Then Muda tried to acquire it. They said, okay, we can't acquire the whole thing, so you take this compensatory land. So this is the chain of allegations that the opposition has been laying against Mr. Siddaramaiah. Now, Mr. Siddaramaiah has argued that his wife had not preferred the allotment of compensatory sites in Vijayanagar layout, and also pointed out that the allotment was made during the BJP regime in October 2021. Muda had similarly allotted 1,328 compensatory sites to other people, he said. So, in that nearly 1,500 allottees or sites being allotted, his wife's were one of them. However, the opposition has sought a CBI probe to unravel the extent of alleged malpractices. On August 17, Karnataka Governor Thawarchand Gehlot granted sanction for prosecution of Chief Minister Siddaramaiah in the alleged irregularities and the Muda scam. A few days later, to defuse the crisis, Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's wife, Parvati Siddaramaiah, then decided to surrender these 14 sites allotted by Muda, largely as a face-saving gesture. Last week, the Enforcement Directorate also filed a case against Mr. Siddaramaiah. So things are just building up and piling up as we speak. Now, that in a nutshell, as I said, is what the alleged Muda scam is all about. I've tried to compress it into just a few minutes of explanation. So if some details are left out, please put it down to my desire to keep it brief. Now, the important thing in all of this, and the important thing to track now, however, is the political development that comes out of it. Quite clearly, the opposition is gunning for Mr. Siddaramaiah. They want him to resign. Whether he will resign his position like Hemant Soren when he was going to be arrested on alleged corruption cases, or like Mr. Kejriwal, who spent his entire time in jail being chief minister and only quitting when he was out on bail, that is the question now. While the Karnataka Congress has many factions, in this instance, they have been putting up a united front for now. The party high command has also been looking into the issue. Now, numbers-wise, the government is safe. They have like 135 MLAs. But if more legal issues crop up for Mr. Siddaramaiah, his continuance may be untenable. It is being said that Mr. Siddaramaiah himself is not in favor of brazening it out and wants to sound out a replacement in case there is a warrant for his arrest. For many years, Mr. Siddaramaiah and Pradesh Congress President D.K. Shivkumar have had competing interests in being Chief Minister. They've been rivals, and even before the Karnataka Assembly elections in 2023, there was a lot of talk of, Siddaramaiah versus D.K. Shivkumar, etc. But interestingly, Mr. Siddaramaiah met with Mr. G. Parameswar, also a minister in his government, a couple of days ago, likely to sound him out. Mr. Siddaramaiah commands the support of the Ahinda bloc of backward communities and minorities. Mr. Shivkumar commands the support of Vokkaligas, but Mr. Parameswara is a Dalit and has been part of many governments and therefore administratively sound and has been PCC chief in the past, therefore has his own backing in the party organization, community backing, etc., etc. So all of this is going on. Some MLAs came to Delhi to speak to the High Command about who they would prefer. Then Mr. Shivkumar was spoken to. All of this is happening as we speak. Other claimants include Mr. M.B. Patil, minister in the government again, and the man who managed to poach a significant Lingayat vote from the BJP to the Congress kitty in the last assembly elections. Now, it's not clear how and where the chips will fall. And we will revisit the issue when the crisis reaches a crescendo. For this week, however, this is all I have for you. Thank you for watching, and do join me next week on Talking Politics.